Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Better Than Yesterday podcast. I'm your host, Jenna Cosentino, and today we are getting into a topic that I think everybody has struggled with, and especially the people who kind of go off the beaten path and chase their dreams and do things out of the ordinary that most people wouldn't ever do. And this is going to be your sign, your cue to stop dimming your light, stop hiding behind the people, and stop letting people's opinions affect you. And everybody deals with judgment. Everyone is scared of what other people think. And I know it's hard to not let that affect you, but honestly, even the most confident people or the people who are at the top have held themselves back at some point just because of what people might think and people might say. But if you look at it and you look at the people who are successful, they did not let that affect them. They kind of looked past it. They put their blinders on and just kept moving forward and just not give a crap about what anybody thinks. And today we are going to unlock the mindset that helps you to stop caring about what other people think and just go all in on your goals and just not give up and not let people's opinions affect you. So let's dive into it. Kick it off. People are always going to have something to say. You could be posting content. You could be posting whatever. You could be minding your business, drinking your dang water, going on a walk, and someone will still find a reason to judge you and to make comments about you. But honestly, people judge from the level that they're at, not the level that you're headed towards. People who are miserable with their lives are at the bottom of the totem pole, the bottom of everything, and have no aspirations are the people that are going to judge you. And that's a fact. Most criticism doesn't come from people doing better than you because honestly, they could care less. They're here to support you. They're here to encourage you, not bring you down. And the criticism comes from people who are threatened. They're insecure. They're confused by what the heck you're doing. They're uncomfortable because what you're doing is something that they wish they had the courage to do, or they don't understand why you're doing it, and they don't need to understand why you're doing it. And the reason I think that they act like this is because people protect their own insecurities. Your growth is shining a light on everything in them that isn't growing. When you start posting more or taking your health and fitness seriously or changing your lifestyle, leveling up, getting out of your comfort zone, it triggers people who aren't willing to do the same. They'll hide behind their phones. They'll talk crap about you. They'll make comments, say things behind your back, not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're doing something that they're not. And that stems from insecurity, jealousy, and all of those lovely things that bring out the worst in people. I started to know this and realize this when I started on my journey of leveling up my life. You know, you start taking your health seriously. You start, not going out all the time and caring about what you do on the weekends and how you spend your time and posting more content. You don't know how uncomfortable that was to start posting content and just not caring about what people think. Moving to a new city. There are so many things that I have done in my life that I know people judge me for and people love to talk about me. There are so many things that I can think of that have happened in my life where people have judged me. And if I let those people judge me and if I let those people's opinions affect me and my decisions, I would not be where I'm at today. I would not be chasing my dreams, and I would not be probably sitting in this apartment in Wilmington living my best life. And it takes time and it takes practice to figure out how to navigate that and navigate those feelings of being judged or feeling left out. And it takes time to navigate that, and it takes time to process that and see through it, if that makes sense. Let's talk about the fear of judgment, because that is something that I had to deal with, and I think a lot of people deal with. You get to a point where it's You have to make yourself proud, and you just cannot care about what people are going to think. Fear of judgment sounds like, what will people think if I post this? What are they gonna talk about me? What if I fail and everyone sees? That's the biggest one, is failure and the fear of failure. Fear is a protection mechanism, and your brain is literally wired to avoid standing out because standing out meant danger. And your mind tries to keep you safe by whispering things, triggering that little voice in your head that don't chase your dreams, don't do this, don't stand out, stay small, don't follow your dreams. The voice in your head wants you to stay. It's afraid of discomfort. And one thing that you have to realize and that you have to understand and grasp is trying is not embarrassing. Staying the same because you're scared is. To level up your life, it requires you to be visible. It requires you to show up. It requires you to take up space in whatever industry or venture that you want to go on. And visibility comes with judgment. And there's honestly no way around it. You just kind of have to put your blinders on, keep reminding yourself that you are doing this for you. You're not doing this for anybody else. There is a price I think that you have to pay when you are leveling up your life, because every time you grow, every time you step into a better version of yourself, there is going to be a cost. When you level up, you are raising your vibration and you are stepping into this new version of yourself. So that's going to trigger people. You're going to lose friends. You are going to make people uncomfortable. You are going to outgrow certain situations. You're going to outgrow friendships, relationships. You're going to outperform people who aren't on your level anymore. And there's nothing wrong with that. Why keep yourself small and not follow your dreams just to make your friends feel comfortable? I know that's hard, and you'll begin to see who your real friends are when you go on this journey, because your real friends are going to support you, and they could be motivated by you, and they're going to cheer you on and not judge you and not ask why you're doing things. I mean, they can ask why you're doing certain things, but there's an ask and understand, or there's an ask with judgment. And if you get hit with that ask and judgment, then those people aren't your friends. And you kind of need to reflect on that relationship and friendship and decide if this is benefiting you or if it's just going to bring you down. And a lot of people don't dislike you or the new version of you. They dislike that you are not the old version of yourself. They dislike that you aren't going to go out until 4 a.m. and party with them anymore. You are prioritizing yourself, because in a way, I feel like they're kind of rejected a little bit, but that's not your fault. You are making changes in your life. And if they wanted to support you, maybe they would start doing things that you enjoy doing, and you can do things that they enjoy doing once in a while. Your growth forces people to confront their own lack of it. Instead of rising with you or doing some things that you enjoy, some people, they'll pull back, distance themselves, or they're going to make comments, why don't you want to go out anymore? Once you start making those decisions and kind of pulling back a little bit, they're going to pull back. It's not a sign to shrink. It's not a sign to go back to your old ways. This is a sign that you are leveling up and you're aligning with your goals, and growth requires, people to leave your life. And yes, it can feel like loss. And I think that's where a lot of friendships and relationships, why they end, is because, and maybe they don't end in a good way. And it's because friendship breakups, honestly, are harder than relationship breakups. You know what I mean? And I think it's a hard pill for some people to swallow and some people to understand. It can feel lonely, but it's really just making room for what is meant for you in your next level of your life. It's making room for the people who are going to support you and the people who are ambitious like you are and enjoy the same things that you do. It's okay to end friendships, and it's okay to outgrow friends and relationships, because, everybody is on their own path, and your path does not look like your best friend's path did. It doesn't have to be this god-awful friendship breakup. It can be just, you just aren't as close anymore. And for example, Like my best friend growing up, we are all on completely different paths with our lives. We all live all around the country and we don't, that's a lie. We live like, they live in New York, I live here, but they live all around New York. They don't live 5 minutes down the road from each other. We grew apart for sure. We grew apart in like the aspect of like, I don't live 10 minutes down the road. Like, we don't go home on all of the college breaks, all in our town at the same time. Like, we just don't have that close knit, forced relationship that we did like growing up, if that makes sense. But I know if I pick up the phone right now and call Alyssa or call Tara, it is literally back to how it was growing up. And it's like we don't skip a beat. It's like we can pick up right where we left off. And that right there is a true friendship that you grow apart, but you are still best friends. You know, they don't judge you for the things that you're doing. If anything, they're going to be your biggest cheerleaders and your biggest supporters. Those are the people that you have to keep in your circle, keep that relationship. It's lovely and just so rewarding to have friends like that. And I'm very grateful that I do. So I kind of want to share my story a little bit about dealing with judgment and being afraid of what people think. I think that comes with like still trying to figure out who I am. And I know I had so many things that I wanted to do. I so bad wanted to, I don't know if you guys remember. I mean, I still watch like the YouTube vlogs, but I so wanted to be a YouTube beauty influencer, you know what I mean? Like growing up, how they do like all the hauls. And I wanted that so bad. I just never thought that I was capable of that because I didn't look like everybody else that you saw on the internet. I didn't have the confidence to do it. I didn't come from a lot of money to think that I could do that. I let the fear of myself, I let the fear of failure, I let the fear of judgment and not thinking that I'm good enough or on that level of others to do that. Once I got older, I started kind of figuring out what I want to do with my life and working on different goals that I set out for myself. A tangent while it's on my mind of an example of somebody who I know who dealt with this. She is like a health and fitness coach, nutritionist, or she was in Geneva. She grew up with my brother and she's awesome. My brother and her husband are like best friends. She, went on her own path and fell into health and fitness and fell in love with it and decided to start her own little Instagram business and small business. I remember her telling me, I started with her when she first launched. I was a senior in college and she has 100% changed my life in so many ways. And I give so much credit to her for all that she has done for me and has pushed me to do and made me believe in myself. But that's beside the point. Geneva is a very freaking small town and doing anything out of the ordinary, people are just going to judge the hell out of you. And we didn't have a lot of gyms in Geneva. We had like the YMCA and there's like a few like random gyms like downtown. They're not like big gyms like a Crunch Fitness or whatever. But they opened up this gym. I don't know, it's called Lift or something like that. And it was like the first like huge gym. Obviously, everybody went to it. And there's like one of the trainers there, the fitness coach who I'm talking about, was in there working out, recording her videos. And the people, the workers, they were laughing at her and judging her and thinking like, oh, what is she doing? She's not capable of this. Like, who does she think she is? Yada, yada, yada. She just kept doing what she's doing. She has continued to grow her business and continue to change people's lives. And what if she stopped when she first started just because those mean girls at the gym were judging her? She would not be where she is right now with her business and with her life. So you just kind of have to look at that. And, I think about that a lot. Like, what if she cared what people thought? She wouldn't have helped me change my life. She wouldn't have helped change other lives and spread goodness around the health and fitness community. She's a very good role model and I look up to her so much. But another example of being judged, and I had some friends in Raleigh. We're not friends anymore. but it was always like, it's like we were friends and then she had her own group of friends, like aside from our friends. And she had one friend that apparently used to talk so much crap about me, and I don't know why. And she never really shut it down, which that's a red flag. But I remember, so I bought an Audi Q5. I feel like I've talked about this on here before, but I bought this car. I was so, so, so excited and proud of myself for buying this car. And I've never had a luxury car before. And I mean, it was a 2018. It wasn't like a 2020, a 2024. Like, it wasn't brand new. Like, it had some miles on it. But I was so proud to buy this car. And immediately people started judging me. One of her friends asked if I had a sugar daddy because I bought this car. And it's like, it's not like this car was $5 million. It'd be the same if I were to go buy a Jeep. Like, it wasn't this outrageously expensive car. This girl asked if I had a sugar daddy. And it's like, why do you care? Why do you care how I bought my car? Like, no, I don't have a fucking sugar daddy. I worked my ass off. You know, my nanny got some phone calls from people in Geneva, like, why did Jenna buy this car? Does she not understand that these cars are so expensive to fix? Yada, yada, yada. And it's like, who gives a crap about how I spend my money? Like, why what I'm doing in North Carolina affecting your life in Geneva? Like, it makes no sense. And I was so frustrated, and I let those people's opinions affect me and affect how I felt about myself and how proud I was about what I just did. After that, I never felt like I was deserving enough to be driving that car. And it's weird how things manifest, because I didn't have that car for 6 months. I think I had it for 6 months. Okay, I had it for like 6 or 7 months, I think. Um, but I never felt deserving to drive that car. And having it for 7 months, call it, the shit got totaled. I got T-bone and just completely totaled my car. And like, just completely, the airbags, it was dramatic. It was dramatic. I just never felt like I was good enough to drive that car. I think that's where your thoughts become your reality, because the universe took that shit right out of my life real fucking quick. And I let those people's opinions affect me and affect what I want my life to look like. And once I continued on my journey, and, you know, when I moved to Raleigh, even in college, I was going out all the time. Like, there wasn't a time when I was not at the bars, not having a good time and enjoying my life. My friends relied on that, and they always knew Jenna was down for a party, and they always knew, I want to go out, let me call Jenna, because she's always down. I stopped going out. Like, I really took my health and fitness seriously. I really was selfish, and I made time for myself, and friends did not like that. They're like, well, why can't you just go out and drink? Why can't you just come out and have one drink or come have fun? And it's like, I don't want to. And I started to love my weekends not hungover, getting things done, working on myself. I loved it. And I loved being home and just hanging out with, I didn't have Benny at the time. I had my cats, hanging out with my cats and just like chilling. I just fell in love with just chilling and not doing 5 million things at once. And people had an issue with it, and people would make comments about it. And, your true friends wouldn't judge you for that. And they judged me for it a little bit, for sure, but they learned to understand, and they learned to set boundaries with me, and I set boundaries with them. The people who understand are still my friends now. And the people who don't aren't here. They're not in my life. And they would always make me feel bad about myself. They were just secretly judging me, and I know they still are judging me. And, I can't think about them anymore. You can't think about those people. And if I let those people continue to push me in these directions and care about what they think, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I wouldn't be here. And I would be here, but I wouldn't be living the life that I'm living. So in the moment I stopped caring about what other people think and posting online and posting my funny TikToks, once I stopped caring about that, my life changed. It was like a relief off my shoulders of just not giving a fuck. I I tell this to my mom all the time because sorry, Karen, I'm kind of exposing you right now, but she gets nervous about what other people think or people in Geneva, what they think about her. I always have to tell her, like, who cares? You are living your best life. Who cares what these people think about you? They're living the way that they want to live because you know you are out here doing the things that you enjoy and you are following your dreams and you cannot let people's opinions affect you. And I have to reiterate that to her so much. And she's like getting better about it. That even goes with family. Like the Cosentinos, they're a tough crowd. And I used to get so upset when I would go home and my family members would make comments to me about what I'm wearing or what I'm doing with my life. And I used to get so upset, so upset. And I just I got to that point where it's like, who cares? They're going to judge me, they're going to support me. They're not going to support me. So you just got to let them and just let them make their opinions about you. Deep down and you stay true to yourself and you know what you are doing and what you're doing with your life and the goals that you have. So once you stop caring about that, I know I just said that, but your world opens up. It's a relief off your shoulders and you just have to laugh at it. Like I went viral on TikTok a couple of times and the amount of hate comments versus love comments, it was always here for people supporting. And I love reading those comments, but the hate comments, in the beginning, a few of them, they really hurt me. Not hurt me, but they're damn. They kind of just nudge you a little bit, but you just kind of have to read them and just giggle. And I went viral for making a sandwich, and I think this sandwich is amazing. The comments on this fucking TikTok about my sandwich, it was crazy. They were judging so much, and you just have to get to the point and just fucking laugh because it was honestly, it's hilarious. They're so freaking stupid, and you have to get to that point where you just have to laugh at the judgment and just not care. Who are these people? They're just old Karens. Sorry, mom. My mom's name's Karen. Old Karens behind their phone just yelling. And it's the people who support Jesus and it's in their bio are the people who are just the hardest critics and the ones just fucking nailing you right. I gotta stop swearing. Nailing you right in the neck with a negative comment. It's just funny. It's just funny. I know I'm getting down a tangent, but what's new? So there's definitely a difference between the haters and the doubters. And the haters are people who are just negative all the time. They're miserable. They're triggered by the things that you're doing in your life. And you don't owe them anything. They're just miserable in their lives and you have to recognize that and you can mute them, you can block them, you can delete them, whatever you have to do to not let those people's negative energy get on you because you need to protect your peace and people are just fucking toxic. Then you have the doubters and these are usually your family, your friends, and the people who care about you. You have to recognize between haters and doubters. And doubters, they don't hate you. They don't not support you. They just don't understand your vision. They don't see why you're doing what you're doing. They aren't walking the path that you're walking. And they care about you and they want you to stay safe and they want you to take the easy way. Take the easy road. Why are you gonna run down a mountain when you can I don't know where I'm going with that, but they want you to be safe and they'll support you. They have the fear of watching you fail, I think. One thing you have to know is that your dreams aren't supposed to feel safe. They're supposed to stretch you in ways that you never thought possible. They're supposed to challenge you and frustrate you and make you go in different directions. They make you doubt yourself. The way that your goals challenge you is what levels you up and puts you on that next level of whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. So with doubters, you have to set those boundaries, share less of your life, protect your vision. You don't have to share everything with them. And just let your results do the talking and just know that they're supporting you, but it may not feel like it right now. They're supporting you, but they're just trying to keep you safe. When haters, they're not supporting you and they want to see you fail. And they're going to sit there with a bucket of popcorn in front of a television and watch you fail. I think of the gif of, if you like look at the gifs on like your phone, your iPhone, and it's the SpongeBob sitting in front of the TV with the popcorn. That's how I feel my haters are. They're just waiting. They are just waiting. You can't accomplish your goals in the dark. Your next level, your leveled up life requires you to be visible. It requires you to have courage. It requires you to take up the space in whatever you are trying to get into, accomplish, whatever. You want to start posting on social media? Post the content. Even if your haters at home see it. Who cares? If you're nervous about walking into a gym, a trick that I have is, you're trying to feel out like the busyness of the gym. Even in the morning, I do it. When there's like no crazy person up at that hour at the gym, go up to the treadmill. I go to the treadmill. I do like 10, 15 minutes. I scope out the gym and like pivot where, okay, I'm going to go to the cable machine. Is there a cable open? And then you got to weigh the time. So if I get done right now and I walk down there, you better hope no one's there. But if someone's there, where are you going to pivot to next? And you just have to have a plan with that, especially with the gym. Once you start getting in there and getting comfortable with it, I mean, I still get uncomfortable with it. Once you learn, like know the lay of the land and know where everything is, you'll get more confident and you can walk in there. Maybe you don't need to go to the treadmill and scope it out. Like you can just pivot on the spot. You know what I mean? Just walk in there and know that you belong and not let that fear that you have project. Start the business that you've always wanted to start. You don't have to understand how to do it. You just have to learn as you go. Prime example, my boyfriend, he started his own company. He is figuring it out as he goes, and he has a good support system and someone who he can ask questions and learn from, but he didn't let the fear of failure and not knowing how to do it perfectly stop him from doing it. Launch the podcast. I've been talking about this damn podcast I launched it last November, but I've been talking about it. You just got to stop. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I don't know how to do half the things, but I'm here figuring it out. I'm discovering a new thing every time I record a podcast. I sound like an idiot sometimes on here. I laugh to myself. I used to get so uncomfortable with sitting in my room and talking to a microphone, but now I just have to giggle because it's like, yes, I'm talking to myself, but like eventually I'll be talking to other people. So it's like you kind of just have to think about it like that. And like, yes, I only have a handful of people who listen to this podcast, but me manifesting, I have like millions of people listening to this podcast. So think of it like that. It wasn't until I pushed myself out of the comfort zone and started talking to the camera and like not caring what people think that my content got better. But that just takes time and practice. Set the boundary with the friends that you need to. Say no when you need to. Think about yourself. Keep trying. Keep pushing yourself. You'll fail. Try again. Don't give up and just keep going for it. Hiding, it's not going to get you anywhere. Failing and giving up is not going to get you anywhere. Staying small will not get you to where you want to go. And playing it safe won't build the life that you're dreaming about. You need to adopt a new mindset. First is just don't give a fuck what people think. If they talk, let them talk. Their opinion is not gonna affect you. It's not building your future. It's not building your goals. Unless they're paying the bills, they don't have a say in anything that you do. Someone else's comfort is not your responsibility. They'll get uncomfortable with whatever you strive to do. You owe it to yourself to accomplish your goals, to be happy. That's the biggest thing, is what is going to make you happy. You owe that to yourself and you deserve it. The moment you stop asking for approval and caring what people think is the moment that you level up and you become unstoppable and you become the person that people look up to because you just didn't give up and you just kept doing it anyways, no matter how uncomfortable it was and how much hate you got. You kept going and you have built the life that you've always dreamed of. All right. So that is today's episode. And I hope this gave you kind of that push to finally stop caring what people think and start showing up how you want to be seen and showing up as your true, authentic self. If this episode kind of hit home, triggered something, share it to your story, tag me, leave me a comment, send me a DM. I love to hear that people listen to this and that what I'm saying is actually resonating. Yeah, fun episode coming next week. And I'm so happy you guys are here. I'm so grateful. And always remember, be better than you were yesterday.